Welcome everyone for the UGC-NET Paper I, Day 38 of our class. In today's class, we are continuing in the communication unit, that is Unit 4. In today's topic, we'll focus on the barriers to effective communication. Actually, it is a very small class because we are only focusing on the barriers, so we can finish up rapidly. So let's move on to the unit. So, as we have discussed about the various types and what is meant by communication in the earlier classes, today we directly dive into the barriers. So, here I have listed the barriers for effective communication. So, these are the, I think, 7. So, 7 common barriers. When you scroll through the net, you might find few more numbers of barriers they are mentioning, but these are the 7 which are commonly presented in various textbooks as well as various websites. So these are the very 7 important barriers which commonly occur in all kinds of communication. So we will see about each of them one by one. So first comes semantic barrier. So semantic means here we are discussing about language. So it is also known as language barriers. So these barriers, see here they have mentioned, these barriers are caused due to improper communication between the sender and receiver. So when the thing difference, no, please note here the language barrier might also denote the difference in language. But here the language sense is mostly given importance to the content related, not the literal meaning of language. So see here, they are caused because of the improper communication between the sender and receiver. So following instances of semantic barriers can be witnessed in communication. Only these two. Poor quality of the message. So when the sender sends a message, it does not have the necessary content or necessary information relayed properly. Not mainly due to the, how best to say, not mainly due to the sender's fault, but the information might be ambiguous by medium also. So, but poor quality of message, what it literally tries to say, we do not understand. Next, technical language. So that's what I wanted to mention here, so the difference. So technical language in the sense, if I am using a technical term, for example, you can say, if I say about USB, that means the people who use regularly the laptop or a computer, whatever all those things related, pen drives, they know the meaning of USB. So what is a USB? But if I have to say the same word to the people who don't have access or not awareness about any laptop or something like that, they might not understand the term USB. Also, we might say some words like we might have certain acronyms at one place, but the same acronym might be in another place having different kind of meaning. So here we should have a very common basic understanding of the proper technicality used in the message. So that is the technical language. So these are the semantic barriers, that is language barriers for an effective communication. Next is psychological barriers or emotional barriers. See, even if you might not understand this psychological term, you might understand the emotional term. So I am having certain emotional breakdown or I am having certain emotional strand. Because of that, my reception of the information or my sending of the information might vary in the depth. The nuances might vary. So psychological barriers play an important role in interpersonal communication as the state of the mind, see here, state of the mind of the sender or the receiver can make it difficult to understand the information that is conveyed, which often leads to misunderstanding. So they have given some of the psychological barriers. First is premature evaluation of information by the receiver. Before receiving a complete statement or question, we are trying to process the information. When if it is a question, we are trying to answer for that question without reading it properly or without allowing the sender to complete the question. We are directly jumping into conclusions to answer. So that is the premature evaluation. Next is inadequate attention from the receiver's end at the time of communication. So when I was saying something or when I am saying something at that time, the person opposite to me is deviated in some other thing. He is distracted. So the person does not listen to my complete words. So because of that, my communication, the message I wanted to convey dissipates. So that is the inadequate attention from the receiver's end at the time of communication. Next is distortion of information while passing through multiple sources. So we have seen so many examples recently, so many games and all being conducted for this type of communication. Like start of the person will mimic some motions or gestures. That same will be conveyed through different persons. At the end person performs totally different from the first thing what performed by the first person. So the information gets distorted or changed when it passing through the multiple sources. These are the different kinds of emotional or psychological barriers. Next, third one is organizational barriers. So this thing yesterday we have seen in the class, that is there are certain rules where we cannot complain, and I don't know if this example is right or not, but not to be exact, recently I think 2-3 years back there was a rule or law implemented, that is no external person can complain to the authorities about a factory regarding their environmental destruction. So if a person wants to complain about இப்போ ஒரு உதாரணத்துக்கு கழிவுகள் வெளியேறுது, ஸோ அந்த கழிவுகளை பற்றி கம்பெனியில் அல்லாதவர்கள் அவங்க அதை பத்தி போய் கம்ப்ளைண்ட் பண்ண முடியாது. ஸோ தேர் we logically question that how come the person working in a company will complain about his or her own company. So that is the problem there. Here organizational barriers, so that are caused due to the structure, rules and regulation present in an organization. So mainly would be superior subordinate relationships. In our cases, we as a scholar in a teaching line, so head of the department versus staff, or a guide versus scholar, all these things, our communication flow constrains our communication because of this hierarchy. So here free flow of communication is not possible. Sometimes the complexity of organization structure and multiple managers make it difficult to convey information properly, and because of that the information gets distorted, leading to miscommunication. Next is cultural barriers. So here we have I think Kodai ma'am was there in yesterday's class. We have almost seen the cultural thing, cultural intercultural communication. That is the same thing. So what and all problem arises, we are from different cultures. So first thing, everyone recently when I went to Pondicherry University for RMC course, there were some people who are from all around the states in India. So they were hesitant to talk to me because I am from Tamil Nadu, they are from different state. I don't speak well, and actually I know to speak Hindi, but still I didn't speak amongst them. So they thought that I don't know Hindi, and they are not comfortable with speaking me because of Tamil. So all these problems arose. So what here is the cultural barriers, that is different things happens because of lack of similarities. So a term which can be harmless in one culture can be regarded as a slang in another culture. So moreover, various beliefs can differ from one culture to another. So because of that, their own sets of beliefs, shared values, we are trying to communicate without problem, but the problem arises because of all these barriers caused by the culture differences. So these are the cultural barriers. Next is physical barriers, which is also known as environmental barriers. So right now, so many times I have told in the class, I have to slow down the fan for reducing noise, and then I have to shut down the windows, all the rooms and all. Why? Because downstairs there is a traffic, normal day-to-day traffic, horn sounds, vehicle sounds would be there, and some mic set sounds would be there. Even persons communicating next to my room also. These are the live disturbances for me while taking the class. So they are the environmental or physically present. So that's why physical barriers. These are the barriers, that is sometimes faulty equipment, noise, closed doors and cabins. Sometimes even closed very small cabin also could create echoes, so that would also form a disruption. These are the physical barriers. That means they are not it is not insulated properly. So like I said, no, whatever thing that can disturb in physically, all those things comes under physical barriers or environmental barriers. So the constant telephone interruptions are one of the commonest physical distractions. So when the signal or communication, even in our class also, there is some network problem sometimes happens. So at that time you might not see that my message is not delivered properly. So that also physical barriers. Technically that thing could be said as in the most technological barriers. Still that also comes under environmental barriers where my disruption is happening. Next is physiological barriers. See, physiological barriers is whatever barrier that is disrupting your communication due to your own physical condition. So either people might be deaf or dumb, so that they cannot speak freely or hear freely, or they might have some mental conditions or weak body, all those things, no. So some people don't like speakers, some people don't like using headphones, and some people cannot speak. All those things we have to increase the ratio or performance of the communication based on the person. So this could happen based on their own physical culture, physiological features. In short, like I said, no, deaf and dumb. So even they have mentioned certain cases like dyslexia, nerve disorders. So nerve disorders that interfere with the speech or hearing. So all these are physiological barriers. So like speech, hearing, other impediments like hinder clear expression or reception of the message. So நம்மளுக்கு வந்து ஒரு expression, something they have to perform, no, the late delayed response also could be called as physiological barrier, because once there is a delayed response, I cannot get the feedback properly, so I cannot convey the information properly. So these are the physiological barriers. Now moving on to the technological barriers. So technological barriers, as I said, whatever equipment, digital equipment or electronic equipment we are using for communication, those are called technological things. But whenever there are certain errors or disturbances happening in that equipments, our communication process would be disrupted. So like I said, no, the same example, when few days back the internet connection was cut down. I think most of you have logged out. So I was thinking you were in the class, so I was continuously saying things. But after some time I came to know that people were not there. So these are the technological barriers. When my technology, and even there is one more perception, the other people could not use, like I said, when sometimes let me give you an example. In today's time, evening I had to send a phone number through WhatsApp. So I have sent the phone number of a person to another person, but that person is out of station. So now I have to send the same telephone number to the person who is in station, but she doesn't have a Android phone. Even though if she has also, she doesn't know how to use WhatsApp. So there is no way possible that I can send my mobile number because she is illiterate. So inability or unawareness of technology usage, there is a technological barrier arise in my communication. So these are the technological barriers. So these are the total 7 we have completed. So there are 7 barriers. These are the 7 barriers for communication. Now measures. What are the measures we can take to overcome these barriers in communication? So first is fostering good relationship. So this indirectly again each of the communication, that is barriers, we can have different causes, we can have different measures, but here I have in order to less complicate, I have given as a whole in general for 2 slides. So it will be intermixed with all the barriers. So first is fostering good relationship. So whenever I want to communicate with certain people, I have to or I should make a positive relationship with them. So fostering good relationship. Next is purposeful and well focused communication. So here I am taking a class, we are focusing on the particular topic. If I have to deviate totally irrelevant with something, I might give it as example, but I cannot go on talk on about the different topic other than this. So my communication should be purposeful as well as well focused. Next, coordination between superiors and subordinates. This you can understand. Next, avoid technical language. There is a technical language means we should try to avoid. I cannot use very complicated wordings in presenting the PPT. Next, feedback. I have to receive the feedback properly, like over whenever in police walkie-talkie, that one. Next is accuracy. My communication should be accurate. Like yesterday we saw, the 7 C's. In that correctness is there. So that is accuracy. Accuracy, because I cannot provide a wrong information so that it might mislead you into something. Next is clarity in the message. What I am trying to convey, what I am trying to achieve through the sender, through the receiver. So these are the measures. And again see here, communication of organizational philosophy. So whenever I communicate with people, I should have a proper philosophical, that is organization oriented communication when I am talking to a group. Next, flat organizational structure. See here, flat organization means instead of hierarchy, we are having a normal, more like group approach. So that is a flat organization structure. And then division of labor. So labor, what we are dividing it, that is even if it is done by a higher people, that could be called as delegation. So delegation of labor also we can say. And then organization policies. Whenever policies are comfortable with for the employees, they can communicate freely to the upper management. And then minimize semantic problem. So that we have less technology, all those things. We have to minimize that. And then proper communication channels. This could happen mainly only in military as well as police. Why? Because they have certain frequency, and that particular certain frequency will be used by the team for communication. Next, last is right feedback. I am getting the feedback correctly as for the information I have sent. So these are the different measures to overcome barriers in communication. So that's all here. So that's all guys, this is the bibliography, and is there any questions? Thank you.